making my eyes dry. Can we still make it happen? It's worth a try. And I might keep on dreaming out loud. It's a beautiful life, staying under blue skies. Next year in the winter, let's give it a try. I'll keep on dreaming out loud tonight. Winter's started, and I can't seem to adapt. And somebody told me that you felt the same way since we went. Why won't you give me a call? We'll ride on those waves again. And I can wait through a storm, 'cause without you it wouldn't be the same. Last night I was dreaming out loud. California sun was making my eyes dry. Can we still make it happen? It's worth a try. Oh, I might keep on dreaming out loud. It's a beautiful life, staying under blue skies. And next year in the winter, let's give it a try. I'll keep on dreaming out loud tonight. Yeah, I'll be dreaming out loud tonight. I'll keep on dreaming out loud tonight.
The only way to earn money is by providing people with services or products which are needed and useful. We exchange our time and our product or service for the other man's money. Therefore, the law is that our financial return will be in direct proportion to our service. Now, success is not the result of making money. Making money is the result of success, and success is in direct proportion to our service.
I watched this video on the incredible Earl Nightingale, and he talked about that at all times we have to monitor and look at what we do. And there's only really two things that we do on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. We're either goal achieving or tension relieving, which I thought was really interesting. And I think if you really dig into that, it really opens up a lot of questions on the effectiveness of what you do on a daily basis. And if you look at it from that lens, is it goal achieving or is it tension relieving? It really, you start looking at, okay, how do I really get closer to the goal that I have? How do I really go after and get my first real estate deal? How do I take my business from $100,000 to $1 million? How do I hire the right people so that I can pull myself out of the business and actually be a business owner and have the business be a servant to me and not me be a servant to the business? It's absolutely incredible to think about. And that leads me to this show. The theme of the show is how to make $250,000 this year in 2023. And I love that number, something about $250,000, because it is there where you start really, the momentum really starts rolling, right? Six figures is like the first one, right? The first big milestone is to go past that six figures. But then when you get to $250,000, you start getting into rarefied air, right? You start going into where there's a small percentage of people that make over $250,000 every single year. And I am telling you this with 100% certainty, that if you follow the instructions that I'm about to outline over the next 10, 12, 13 minutes, you will make $250,000, and I'm going to convince you of it. I am going to really dig deep, and I'm going to destroy any kind of doubts that you have with facts, because we can't just do it with just pure enthusiasm. We can't just do it with just hoping and going off of faith. We're going to go and use facts here, okay? And I don't think that anybody will be able to dispute the facts that I'm about to outline in this opening session, all right? But it needs to start with why. Why do you want to make $250,000? Why do you even want to be in real estate? Why do you want to find discounted properties? Why do you want to be a real estate investor? Well, because of those two gorgeous, beautiful words, passive income. Now, people kind of go, oh, you wholesalers, you guys aren't real estate investors. Okay, whatever. But we're building a fund. We're building our funding partner. We're building the skills and the networks and the connections to be able to get the absolute best deals, the best opportunities, the best properties for us to add to our rental portfolio. That's the whole point, right? Is passive income. But why passive income? Because it puts you in control of the time you have left on this world. That's it. You know what? At some point, you're going to be idle. Right? You're going to be idling. You're not going to be able to go and hustle as much as you want. But isn't it better to be idle in comfort? Isn't it better to be idle knowing that you have pushed and scrapped and really tested the limits of your potential? Because I think that's the scariest thing. The scariest thing isn't being broke or poor. Those are just, little spaces in time, right? Those are just little situations that you have to get through. But to not recognize your full potential and know that you have it in your heart and your soul and your brain, whatever you want to call it, that's the worst. So you dig into the why. And I want to invite you to go to wholesalinginc.com at any time, not right now, but get in there. And I want you to download this right here, Put it up there, Matt. You find your why, the 7 levels deep exercise. I want you to start the year here because you're going to ask yourself 7 times why do you want to make $250,000 or add $250,000 to your business? And it's going to really, really dig into what is your real reason? What is your real motivation for doing this? Because if you're not in tune with that, you will fall for everything. You will fall for all of it. All right. So let's start breaking this down. First, I want to start with the fundamentals, right? There's 3 parts to this business, and you're going to have to determine where you want to find your leads, the best opportunities for you to find wholesale deals this year. All right. And if you're looking at it, there's only 3 ways to get deals, right? You can pay. You can pay for people to call you, which is called marketing. You can build up a network of people that will refer you business. That takes a while, but it's really good. Or you can be super proactive in your business and you can go out there and earn those deals. There it is. It's beautiful purple and lavender right there. Referrals, marketing, and prospecting. I want to challenge you, if you do not have a big budget, or if you understand what a net profit really means, because that's what runs this whole business is net profit, that you go out there and you earn it. You go out there and you proactively reach out to people. You go out there and find those incredible opportunities. Okay? This is what we're talking about here. With this thing, it's $250,000 is fantastic, but keeping most of that is the best. You can do all of this that I'm going to talk to you about on this show for under $10,000 this year. That means that you net $240,000. You're going to have to deal with taxes on your own, but $240,000 net that you take home, and to be able to pay off your debts. You want to get consumer debts gone, boom, done, and then start investing in incredible assets and growing this business, growing your business. Right? That's what we're talking about. So you got to be proactive. The second part of this business is obviously the conversion. This is all about pre-qualifying every single property. This is about doing your lead follow-up and being absolutely just psychopath about your lead follow-up. You're so focused on it. And the last one is your offer presentation, right? How are you negotiating those contracts with the owner? And then the third part is exit strategy. Your exit strategy. What are you going to do? You're going to wholesale it? There's 3. There's only 3. You're going to wholesale it, you're going to flip it, or you're going to hold it, right? I want to encourage you to wholesale as much as possible if this is your first 12 months of being really ridiculously committed to this business. Wholesale them all. you will find more opportunities. If you build the machine that sources the deals, you will have the best deals forever. Do not fall into the trap that the best time to buy real estate is like the best time to plant a tree 20 years ago. It's absolutely false. There are good times and there are bad times. All right. And we're coming into these good times. But if you're just getting into real estate, focus on building a big, healthy, heavy bank account first. Boom. Now let's break down into the nitty gritty. This is all great, Brent. This is all education. I don't care about any of that. Let me get into the meat and potatoes of what you're talking about here. Okay, here it is. Here's the absolute facts. Boom. I want you to take a screenshot of this. Wholesaling goal calculator right here. $250,000 goal. Now, if you are in a smaller market, or if you're in a market where the median sale price is under $250,000 or $200,000, I should say, then you're going to average about $10,000 per deal. Okay. If you're in a bigger market, it's going to be $20,000 per deal. That means to make $250,000, you have to do 25 deals. 25 deals. That's it. If you're in a major market, you have to do 12 and a half. Let's just call it 13 to round it up, right? That's what you have to do. 12 and a half to 13 deals this year. All right. Now pull it back up, Matt. Next, out of that, how many contacts do you have to make? You have to talk to 200. This is an absolute fact. You have to talk to, this is you making the calls. Put me back on there, Matt. This is you making the calls. You making calls. You talk to 200 people. 180 of them are going to reject you right off the bat. 20 of them are going to be kind of interested, and one of them is going to work with you. One of them is going to take that offer. One of them is going to do business with you. All right? So you have to talk to 200 people to get one deal equal 10,000 or 20,000. So how many people does that mean that you have to talk to? Look at this. You're telling me that if you had 5,000 conversations this year with people that own ugly properties, you can't make $250,000? You can't close 25 deals? I am telling you, you absolutely can. And you know what? I even built in a little bit of breathing room in these calculations for you. If you look at the next line here, I only have you working 40 weeks a year. 40, not 52. There's 52 weeks in a year. I got you working 40 weeks out of the year. That means you have to talk to 125 people a week. A week. Now, let me tell you something. You talk to 125 people a week, and listen, so you might be thinking right now, Brent, holy cow, 125. I have to talk to 125 people every single week. I haven't even talked to anybody. I haven't talked to a single person yet before. I can't do that. If you want to make $250,000 this year, no brainer math, you will do this. No experience coming in. You could be a real estate agent, never talked to anybody about buying their house before. You've just represented. You could be anybody. You could be a teacher. You could be a doctor. You could be in the military. You could be doing this part-time. You could be doing this full-time. It doesn't matter. But if you talk to 125 people every single week, you will win. Ooh, that's a big challenge. Ooh, 125 people. Now let's break it down per day. That's 25 people a day. That's 25 contacts per day of people that you talk to. And you ask them, when do you plan on selling your ugly house? Are you kidding me? Absolutely incredible. 25. And listen, this is taking the whole summer off. This is taking 3 months off. This is working 40 weeks. This is just the numbers. This is just the numbers. I mean, it just breaks down to that. Now, some people are thinking to themselves, I don't want to talk to people, Brent. I don't want to get on the phone and get rejected by 4,975 people to do 25 deals. I want somebody else to do it. Great. Here's the facts. Here's the numbers. If you want to hire somebody else to make your calls, this is polling 2,000 people that I've personally coached myself in the TTP coaching program at Wholesaling Inc. This is talking to the top wholesaling companies around the country. This is being tapped in to the top prospecting companies around the country and the world. Here's the numbers if you want to hire somebody as a VA. It's 5 times as much. They need to talk to 25,000 people. They need to make 625 contacts per week, and they need to make 125 contacts per day. The fact is, if you make the calls yourself, you are 5 times as good. It's just it. And if you want to keep your budget under $10,000, you got to do it yourself. You got to embrace the grind. You got to embrace the challenge. And here's the 3 things that you can expect that are going to be the biggest hurdles and challenges that you face. Number 1 is it takes 90 days to close it. It takes 90 days. You got to grind for 90 days with no money, no wires, no checks to deposit into your bank account. Now, could you do it day 1? Sure. Have people done it day 1? Absolutely. The best real estate investors that I know, it took them 5 months on average to get their first deal. The best of the best of the best of the best. Took 5 months. I'm talking 90 days of grinding, making the calls, going out there, keeping your enthusiasm high, keeping your energy high. When everybody's telling you, what are you doing? You're being crazy. This isn't going to work. This is another one of your schemes, your plans that never come to fruition, right? 90 days, you got to grind through it. That's why you got to squad up. You got to squad up with people that are doing this business. You got to squad up with people that are a couple steps ahead of you. You got to squad up with people that have that optimism and that positivity, and that'll be in your corner. They will be the wind behind your sails when you start getting all of those negative thoughts creeping into your head. Right? That's it. Number 1 is it takes 90 days. Okay? Number 2 is you're going to have to deal with doubt, disappointment, and distraction. We live in the shiny object world. Real estate, you can make money in so many different ways, but shiny objects are all over the place. Doubt, distraction, and disappointment. People are going to say no. People are going to reject you. You're going to have a deal that is right there at the finish line, ready to go, and it's going to have title issues and not going to be able to close. Can you get through it? The best do. The people that make over $250,000 a year do. You got to fight through all of that. And the last one is this. You got to focus. Ugly houses, big checks. Ugly houses, big checks. That's how you build this business. It's not going out and doing everything all at once. You want to make a bunch of money? You will implement. This is what's going to happen. You're going to make a bunch of money. And then you're going to be sprinting. And then all of a sudden, there's going to be this huge pool of quicksand. And it's called rental portfolio. And it's called fix and flip. And it's called lending money. And it's called, maybe I should get into this development deal or this big manufactured home community, trailer park community, whatever it is. And you're going to be like, oh, I should get into that thing. And then you don't make money for 6 months. People on here right now, comment if this has happened to you, because it happens. It happens to everybody. Stay focused. Build the machine first, then go out. I want you to own 1,000 doors. I want you to flip 1,000 properties. I want you to develop and be whoever you want to be. Build skyscrapers. Do it all. But build this first. Over the next 12 months, focus. Wholesaling everything. Focused. Build that bank account, build your network, see what these cash buyers are doing with these properties, because it'll level you up in this game. And I'm going to finish with this, and then we're going to crack this thing wide open for questions. All right. Here's the daily schedule right here. Daily schedule for success. You got to have 5 driving for dollars contacts every single day. The fact is 80% of the first deals that real estate investors do is from finding ugly properties, from just driving around neighborhoods and talking to the property owners. Okay. Next, you want 20 realtor, probate, tired landlord, and multifamily contacts per day. 20 of them. So that's your 25 contacts. All right. And I'm telling you, talking to these real estate agents, they're getting desperate. This is a different market. You need to implement them. You need to start building those relationships. You need to start getting those referrals. All right. And we're going to break that all down in future shows. It's going to be absolutely bananas. Next one is 50 driving for dollars addresses per day. Find 50 ugly houses. Find 50 ugly houses. And you could do this virtually. You could do it virtually. You don't have to go in your car and drive around. It's impossible to do it every single day and get 50 of them unless you're an Uber driver or a Lyft driver or DoorDash or something like that. But I am telling you, you could do it virtually. We've got a ton of videos on it here. Use dealmachine.com. Use batchleads.com. Either one of them. Use the coupon code TTP and you get the biggest discounts, but use them. They do all the heavy lifting for you. Next is you got to talk to 3 cash buyers every single day. You got to know what people are buying. It's more critical than ever. Follow up with all of your leads is the next one. This is the most incredible one. People will spend so much time making calls, finding great opportunities, and then they never follow up. Why? Because they don't want to be disappointed. They want to coddle that lead. They want to hold it and embrace it and hold it to their bosom and just say, "Oh, lead. Oh, someday you're going to grow up and be income." No. You need to convert that into a signed contract. Leads are worthless. Only signed contracts. Only signed contracts are valuable. So you need to convert those, and you need to have aggressive lead follow-up. You are not going to lose deals from excessive lead follow-up. You will lose deals because you're not following up enough. And the last one is you got to read 30 minutes a day. This is that plunger that's going to plunge all of that crap that you put into your brain during that first 90 days, that fist fight, that mental fist fight that says, maybe it's easier to make money with crypto. Maybe it's easier to go start this other business that this guy's talking about. Or maybe I should just start this YouTube channel that I don't even need to be on and I make $30,000 a month. There's so many different things pulling you in different directions. But the fact is real estate wins. It wins in good markets. It wins in bad markets. It wins all the time. As long as you're finding discounted properties. So go with the one that's going to be around forever. People need to live in properties forever. Stay focused, read, plunge all of that stuff out. You literally get to experience the struggles of the most incredible people that have ever lived by picking up a book and spending 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 hours with them. And you don't have the time for that? Of course you do. Make sure that you're reading every single day. It'll 1, it'll level you up. 2, it increases your vocabulary. 3, it'll plunge out everything that is nasty in your brain. I love you guys. That's the game plan. That's what we're looking at. We got the 7 levels deep on why you want to do this. We've got the 3 parts of the business to focus on. We've got your numbers breakdown. You know how many people you need to talk to. And you've got the daily schedule to be able to accomplish it. So you've got everything you need to absolutely blow the doors off of 2023. And while everybody else is sleeping and nervous and worried and looking at all of these what's going on with the economy, what's going on with politics, you're focused and you're doing deals and you're changing your family's financial future. You're changing your family's tree. Because when you start bringing in that income, you're going to be a magnet and everybody's going to want to know how you did it. And you're going to be the one that's going to lead them and empower them to be incredible. Boom. Welcome to the Progress Not Perfection show, where we know that finding discounted properties is the most proven path to financial freedom. I'm your host, Brent Daniels, Mr. TTP. And I'm telling you this, if I can do it, so can you. I'm joined by the incredible Rafael Cortez, Alejandra Murch, and Mike Mahoney. We're all here. There's 3 reasons for the show. Number 1, to give you the tools and tactics and strategies that you can implement into your business right now to go out and find incredible deals. Number 2, we want to answer the questions of any challenges that you're going through or any kind of fears or doubts or whatever it is that you're going through in your head. Whatever challenges that you have, whatever hurdles, we want to answer them. Raphael's closed thousands of deals. Mike and I have been doing business since 2004. We've been in real estate since 2004. Alejandra has closed deals, and she's not even like a wholesaler, like full time. She's closing deals. We're here for you. Number 3 is, and I think it might be the most important thing, is to build a community here. The community starts in the side chat. The community starts with you guys commenting on where you do business and squatting up in those areas. Because the fact is, most people aren't going to understand what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish. And so you need to squat up with people that have a similar mind and that are going to push. Those people that have the different brain, the people that have that fire in their gut, in their belly, that is absolutely going to take you and them to the next level. So squat up in the comment section. 2023, here we go.
Ooh,
Here we go. Boom.
Fire.
Marcus, we're starting off hot. Marcus got contract 12/31 LOL. That was my year-end goal, closing on the 13th. Come on, Marcus, let us know how much you're making. Come on. Boom. Has anybody asked why I have this stack of...
But I was about to ask you that.
I thought I missed it, yeah.
Well, first of all, you might think that Lamborghinis and a Rolls Royce are a flex, but these Magnetiles, if you're a parent, you know these are not cheap. All right, so I'm just flexing a little bit to show you here. But listen, this is 97 Magnetiles. This is 3% of Americans make over $250,000 a year. This is where you want to be. All of this, you got to ignore all of the 97%. You got to hang out with the people here. You need to be around this. All right. This is the difference. 3%. You make $250,000. I just showed you. You can do it. Not a single person that has talked to 5,000 people themselves in a year has not made $250,000. If you have, let me know. Come forth. I'd love to pick that apart. Love to see what's going on there. 30K profit for Marcus. There you go. Be here, not here. This is everybody else. This is you. Boom.
Two-part question.
Here we go. I don't know how to start. Elizabeth says, I don't know how to start. Okay. I've been watching videos, but I need to know what to say, how to follow a conversation when the seller has a question. I found a foreclosure, is about to go to auction, and I don't know how to approach. I love it, Elizabeth. First of all, get their number. You can go to batchskiptracing.com and you can put in any address and you can get the phone numbers, the accurate phone numbers back for that property. And if you need scripts to understand what to ask them and how to open up the conversation, you can go to wholesalinginc.com and make sure that you join is it the Academy? Yep. Is it under the Academy now? It used to be at TTP Insider. Now it's wholesalinginc.com. Same thing. Doesn't matter. Academy, sign it up for it and get the scripts and then just follow them. And then from there, really all you're asking is, when do they plan on selling this property? When do they plan? What are they going to do with this property? You know what I mean? You want to you want to ask really good open-ended questions. You want to have a tremendous amount of empathy, and you need to have a lot of courage, Elizabeth. You just call them up and say, this is completely out of the blue, but I was calling about your property I believe you own on 1212 Banana Street. And I just wanted to see if you would consider an offer on your property there. And then be quiet. And then they only have one of 6 responses. Yes, no, maybe. How much will you give me? Who are you? And how'd you get my number? I don't know how that ended up 7 on my hands, but it's 6. It's 6. That's it. So follow that. It's all right there, Elizabeth. But listen, screw it all up. The first thing you said there is, I don't know how to start. Yes, you do. You've watched enough. You know exactly how to start. Find an ugly house and go talk to the owner. That's it. If you're nervous about it, text them. Text them from your phone. Same script. I know this is out of the blue, but I was trying to reach out about your property here. You don't have to tell them, I saw that it was in foreclosure. Saw that you're about to lose the house. Don't go there. Just be a neighbor, be a human, and go talk to them. You got this, Elizabeth. By next week, by next Wednesday, I want you back, and I want you to tell us how many people that you've talked to. Make it at least 5. If it's 20, gangster, Elizabeth. Screw it up. Screw it all up. I started with no instruction. I was so broke and so desperate. And the best thing about rock bottom is it's a strong foundation. And so we just built and built and built. Raph?
1,000%. I think it's easy to get caught up in the fear of
closer to the mic.
what am I gonna say, right? It's easy to get caught up in that kind of stuff. But the conversations, I mean, they at the end of the day, people have a problem. Whatever that problem is, you're gonna navigate it in a couple of different ways. But you don't have to learn this whole new script. Really, what you gotta be is a good human. And every time you step up to the plate and you're actually having a conversation with somebody who has a problem, like foreclosure, it's a big thing. And you take the time to sit with them for a minute, you're going to find out how you can help them. And I think that's the thinking that we have to lead with as we're going into these conversations. So having those conversations and understanding what to say really becomes, I mean, think of it as if you were talking to a relative, right? A sister, a mom, a dad, or somebody that you love. It's the same type of conversation, really. So yeah, don't freak out about the actual verbiage of it. I mean, follow simple scripts and then be a human, because that's what people want to relate to.
And remember, Elizabeth, you got to find out 4 things, right? What's the condition of the property? What's their timeline to sell? What's their motivation? And what's their price? That's it. So that's how you pre-qualify them. All of them. There's so many tools and downloads and resources for you at wholesalinginc.com. Also, I would invite everybody to download and to subscribe to this channel if you're not already. If you're getting value out of this, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button. But also, we've got a podcast 5 days a week at Wholesaling Inc. Wholesaling Inc. podcast is absolutely bananas. We got a Facebook group at Wholesaling Inc. You can check that out if you really want to get into this every single day and communicate with people that are doing business around the country. So there is no excuse. You've got a community here, Elizabeth. Lean on it and find somebody that's already doing it, and squat up with them and get the courage to make those calls and have those conversations. I will do it. But at least let me start with this one. Thank you. You got it. What is acquisition? Shamar asks, what is acquisition? Acquisition essentially is a fancy word for sales. Like an acquisition manager is basically like the person that converts the lead into a signed agreement.
Think of it as acquiring the contract.
Right.
Putting a signature on the contract.
Yeah. Acquisition is you've got a lead and you work through the process of getting them to sign that agreement. All right. And that breaks down into those 3 parts. Let's put it up one more time, Matt. The 3 parts of any real estate investing business, any kind of real estate entrepreneur, truly, it's this part, but it's really 3 parts here. Pre-qualify. That's where we discover the condition, timeline, motivation, price, the 4 pillars of pre-qualifying. Lead follow-up, that's making sure that we shorten the timeline for them to make a decision, or we get rid of them because they're not ready to sell their property or they sold it to somebody else. And then the last is the offer presentation. That's when you're sitting down and presenting your offer. This is when you're doing a lot of the final pieces of the negotiating to get the deal done. This is where the trust is built. So there you go. Fat Man Millionaire. I love it.
I like it.
Took 2 days to get first contract, 2 more days to get a buyer for a $55K assignment, then took 5 months to close due to title. I'll tell you what, listen, that is absolutely incredible. Sorry about the 5 months. Sometimes it takes a while for title, but look at this. Come on. You can't do deals right now.
Yes.
You can't do deal. You can't get big deals in this market.
Deals are a myth.
There's no cash buyers out there. There's no opportunities. Fat Man Millionaire didn't hear that.
Of course not. Of course not. It's not in his character. That's awesome.
We just closed a couple huge deals. I'll tell you that.
Nice.
Yeah.
We have a closing on Friday. There's deals out there.
Yeah. Dejan, got my second wholesale deal done in Gardner, North Carolina. Was difficult, but got it done. Mobile home, not affixed to land. Only took 8 days to close. $13K profit. Come on. Woo. Now, listen, Raphael, what is the difference between a mobile home that is connected to land and a mobile home that does not come with the land?
Basically, you're selling a vehicle if it's not attached to land. So if there's a certificate of a fixture.
Do you go through the title and escrow process if it's not?
No, not for the mobile home. You have to do a vehicle title sale. So that's
so
what happens.
where do you go through?
DMV.
Yeah,
Isn't that
motor
weird?
vehicle division.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you're going,
Or
I
MVD.
had a text from Brandon Arenas, incredible wholesaler in the Rhino Tribe in the TTP program, and he is negotiating one right now that he got for $8,000. It's not a fixed to land, and should be a good deal for him. I think they're usually a waste of time because you have to sell them like through Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, and it kind of takes up a lot of time, but there is some money to be made there for sure.
Well, I think I want to throw this out there, right? As we're prospecting for people or for deals for sellers, right? We're going to come across different opportunities. So it's single family. If they don't want to sell that property, always ask if they have anything else. If they have land, if they have a commercial building, if they have mobile home or something else that they would be interested in having a conversation about. So don't miss out on those leads. I know we've gotten a ton of deals closed just through that strategy.
Yep.
Like we're implementing right now in commercial, and we got a car wash in Mesa. So
nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So there's deals out there.
Hamilton. Hey, Brent. I was starting to grind in wholesaling, but I was getting drained out on hand dialing. Okay. I want to get back in the game to find my first deal. Any suggestions you got? Yes, I would do everything you can to get a dialer. I would do everything you can to get a dialer. Sell stuff. Donate plasma. Whatever you need to do. Go take pictures of your feet. I don't know. Do whatever you need to do to get a dialer, right?
Take pictures of your feet.
Yeah, for Feet Finder or whatever.
Yeah.
That's popular, right?
Yeah.
That's what the kids do these days.
I have one.
You got 100?
Oh my God.
Oh, geez.
I'm kidding.
All right. But do whatever you can to get a dialer. What I would do on it, and this is something that you could do, squat up with somebody because you can't use a dialer all day long. So squat up with somebody that already has a dialer and just say, hey, listen, the times that you're not on the dialer, can I pay you $40 a month and put my list into the dialer and use your dialer? Be creative. I mean, hand dialing is exhausting. It really is. And you can go so much faster if you're using technology. So make sure that you do that. I mean, the phone is fantastic, but use a dialer and watch what happens.
It's not an expense. It's an investment.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's how serious are you about what you're doing, and are you going to invest in it? A power dialer is one of the best tools out there.
Yep.
It's just, triples your efficiency at the very least. So, yeah.
But I would suggest if you're so in that daily, put it up one more time, Matt, the daily breakdown for 250,000. On this, it talks about 20 calls to realtors and to probates, tired landlords, multifamily. If you were calling agents, I would hand dial them. I really would. I wouldn't just go and go and go and go. I'd be very intentional because they will pick up the phone. I mean, they pick up the phone a lot more often than the property owners. And it's an easier conversation once you get the rhythm of calling real estate agents. And this new year, it's going to be a big emphasis with everything that we talk about on the show, in the coaching program. Everything is getting deals from agents. For example, I called an agent, Daniel, right here. Come here, Daniel. Come on up here. So Daniel came to me with a property. Where was that property? It was in Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix. And it was a rough property. You were like, what should I do? And I just called the agent right away. Right? What happened?
Oh gosh, it's a long process.
Yeah, but just give them the
come up from behind
term.
the
Somebody.
97
Yeah.
people.
I don't remember that one, dude. So I'm like blanking on it now.
So what happened is, I'm putting them on the spot. What happened was
Everybody
they
shut
didn't
me
want to sell that property for a reasonable price. So I asked the question that we always ask: do you have any other properties that you could send over to me? And he said, yeah, I've got this property right now. We should be locking it up. I should know. I need to find my phone by the end of the show if we got this deal locked up. We're going, my phone's over there on IG. Hi. And so it's, but it could be a $30,000 deal just from that call to a real estate agent that I just made because Daniel was like, hey, what do you think about this deal? Right? $30,000 from a call to a real estate agent that had a listing. By the way, the listing's listed for $345,000. Okay. Built in 2007. One of those kind of cluster communities, 2-story type things. And he said they would take $275,000. We're at 255 right now. It's listed for 345.
Yeah.
All day long, guys. All day long. Don't sleep on that. In 7 minutes, we're going to bring on Jose. He is out of Texas. He's got an incredible deal to talk about. He's going to give us 3 minutes, and we're going to put him in the hot seat on how he found it, how he made some money. It's a crazy story. It's going to be a longer podcast on the Wholesaling Inc. podcast, but we're going to give you a little preview of that at there he is. There's Jose. Great to see you there. Not yet, Jose. Give me a few more minutes, and we'll get going. Let me answer one more question here. Joe, I'm currently cold calling on my free time under a local investor. Great. Besides having W-2 and cold calling during certain times, the question is, how can I accelerate my way to a first check? That is fantastic. So you're already calling on your free time for a local investor. So I assume he's getting paid to do that. Okay. So build your own list. Don't take their leads. One, it's going to hurt your heart if you take somebody else's leads that they paid for and they earned and they put together. You don't want to do that. It's just a terrible, your name sticks with you forever, right? Your reputation is so important, especially in this business.
That's what will happen.
Right, exactly. And so you always want to elevate people that you're around and not take from, okay? And so you want to build your own list. Just start driving for dollars and start calling them on your off time. Same strategy, just do it when you're not working for them. And let them know that you're doing that. And let them know that you're going after these deals. And let them know that you have ambitions to be the owner of the business, of your own business, okay? Because the last thing you want to do is go out there and start doing some deals and they start going, wait a second, that was our deal. He stole deals from me. It happens every day. I hear that all the time. All the time from people that have acquisition managers or they have phone prospectors or they have, disposition managers or whatever. So, yeah.
Let's answer one more question.
One more.
This one kind of relates to what we're talking about.
Okay. Teresa. I was going to do a JV with somebody, but ended up not finding a buyer and the contract expired. If I get it sold, should I still pay the JV partner something if they're not on the second contract? I would. I mean, it just feels good to do that. And that you got that lead because of that relationship. So if you're able to get it sold, even though they're not a part of it, I would cut them in. Now, here's the thing. It depends on the percentage that you want to give them. If you got it locked up for the same price that they had before, but you just found another buyer, then fantastic. I would split the deal 50-50 with them. If you went back in and you got a lower price, you negotiated a lower price, which we're about to talk about how to negotiate a lower price with Jose Varela. He's about to come in from Houston. It's going to be bananas. Jose's getting ready. I can see him. If you negotiate a lower price, then you should get a bigger percentage. And I think that they would be pumped if you gave them a slice, and it can be a flat fee. You can be like $5,000, $10,000, whatever. If they start bitching at you, then split it 50-50. Just be like, I thought this was fair. If you think that 50-50 is fair, that's fine. I want to do more business with you. I don't want to ruin the relationship. And so let's put a lot of positivity into the marketplace and keep doing deals and move on. All right? Awesome. Jose.
Let me jump on. Are we bringing Jose on? Or?
We're going to, but go ahead. Jump in.
I wanted to just kind of throw it back to the previous question. If you're working for somebody else and using their dialer and all that stuff, going through that process, one of the things that you could do too is bring an offer to the table. Hey, listen, what if I bring my own deals to the table? Can we partner up on those and see what you can do? If you're negotiating the deal, working the lead and all that stuff, and you source it, see if you can work out a higher split or a 50-50 type of deal. That way you're leveraging their buyer's base, especially if you're starting off. They're part of the process, so there's not going to be a lot of pushback there in terms of conflict of interest. Helps you, helps them, and I mean you both elevate. So it's just another way of going about that process as well. So
beautiful. Matt, let's bring Jose in and let's put him in the hot seat. Jose, how are you?
Hey, Brent, how are you?
Let everybody know where you live, where you do business, so that they can squat up because they have to know you.
All right. Well, I live in Houston, but I do deals in Corpus and Beaumont. It's about an hour and a half from Houston east and then 3 hours south.
Amazing. Yeah. You closed a deal. Was it last week?
Yes, last Tuesday. It funded.
And what did you make on it?
40,000.
$40,000. Raphael, get ready for this. What are we doing here? All right, let's get into this. We got 2.5 minutes. Here we go. Okay. So, how did you find this deal?
It was a radio lead.
Radio lead. So you do radio ads.
I do. Yep.
What do you spend a month on radio?
Right now it's like 3,000.
$3,000. If you spend $3,000 a month in radio, do you do a deal every month from radio?
Not every month. I'm not closing a deal every month. It's like been hit miss. Like I do 1 month and then a couple deals the next month.
What's the average cost for that deal? Because we opened up the show talking about marketing. We talked about being proactive and prospecting. We talked about referrals. So when it comes to marketing, you're spending money to get people to call you. Do you know on average what it costs you per deal to do for those radio leads?
Yeah. It depends on, as a whole, it's like 4,000, I think, but it's kind of skewed because I dropped some stations that just weren't producing.
Sure.
But that station there, it's like every dollar brings back $17 on that station.
Amazing. Amazing. That's absolutely fantastic. And how long have you been in the business?
Like 2016, I started trying to get a rental here and there, but wholesaling really like a couple of years, maybe 3 years.
Okay. Let's call it 3 years.
I still work full time. As a matter of fact, I'm here at the airport.
What do you do at the airport?
I'm a mechanic for a guy that owns his own jet for him and his family. So I'm the mechanic for that family.
Amazing. And so this deal, what was their problem?
The daughter was selling it for the mom that lived in South Texas, and this deal was right outside of Dallas. They had a tenant in there, and they hadn't seen the property for over 10 years. And she left to South Texas, left the cousin in charge. The daughter was fed up with the cousin, and they weren't getting any rent money, so they just wanted to sell it.
Amazing. And it was smooth sailing, right? You locked it right up and it was no problem and got it closed?
No. It took a little while. I did lock it up for $190.
Okay. And what's the fixed up value?
$350.
Okay. So $350, locked it up for $190. Okay.
Yeah, that was without seeing it. And I told her that may change once I saw it. So once we got a clear title, I went up there and saw it, and then I came back and kind of renegotiated with her to the 130.
So you got you locked it up for 190. You tried to sell it to your cash buyers. They said that you're too high. And so you had
So when I saw it, it needed a lot more than what she thought it needed. So I knew it was going to be, it needed like 65,000, and she thought it was just going to be like a $15,000 rehab.
Got it. And so you immediately, before you got it to your cash buyers, renegotiated the price?
Yes.
And what did you do to help renegotiate that price? Because you got a big price reduction. What'd you do to negotiate? Did you take pictures? Did you take video? Did you get a inspection? What'd you do?
I did take some pictures of the property and the condition, and they had built the unpermitted little apartment over the pool. And so I just told her, based on what I saw there, we needed to kind of reevaluate the price to 120 actually. And she said 130 because that's what they paid for the house 25 years ago or something like that. And if she could get her money out, she'd be happy to do 130.
So you had it at 190. You got it reduced to 130, which they paid. They paid that. They paid that price for that house in 1997.
Yeah. Years and years ago.
Oh my gosh. And you ended up selling it for how much?
Originally it was 175, assigned at 175. And then when the buyer went to see it, to walk it, the tenant had left a bunch of big furniture outside, and one of the neighbors called the city. And right as the buyer was going in and walking it, the city showed up and was talking about the buyer, about fines and stuff. So I kind of had to adjust it to 170. versus 175, and everybody was happy, and we closed it right after that.
$40,000.
Yeah.
I am so happy for you.
Thank you.
How can people get a hold of you? Everybody that is in Houston, that is in Texas. I know Texas is huge, but if you're in Houston, at least, how can people squat up with you, Jose?
Yeah, Facebook. I'm there. Just my name, Jose Varela, and pop up right there.
Awesome, guys. Reach out to Jose. Thank you so much for spending the 3 minutes. I'm excited about our podcast that we're going to do to really flush all this out. And why are you still a mechanic while you're making 40 grand over here? We're going to get all into the podcast. But thank you so much for being a part of the Rhino Tribe. Thank you for so much for being a part of the TTB family. You're the best. And I'll talk to you soon. Okay, Jose?
Awesome. Thank you, Brent. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, brother.
That's amazing. I wonder if the guy that owns the jet also wholesales. Almost, I guarantee you he does.
He wholesales something.
He's got to be wholesaling something. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Nice.
All right. Incredible. Guys, we're going to bring somebody on every single show that's going to break down a deal quickly for us so that you can see. Listen, it's not Raphael closing thousands of deals, myself closing these incredible deals and lots of them. We are not the exception. Okay? Anybody can do this. Everybody can do this. It's just sticking with it. It's just staying focused and sticking to the plan that I outlined for you right here today. And I'm telling you, you are going to go out there and you're going to make a huge impact. All right? What else we got? Teresa. All right. Happy New Year. Good to see you. Hey, Brent, was close to closing 2 deals last month. Signed a non-exclusive option with the seller. Found 6 buyers, but he didn't want to take their low offers. But still win for me. Ended with 6 solid buyers I built a relationship with. Got off the phone with one in the last hour. They closed $2 million in deals last year. Wonderful. The question you need to ask them is, what are you looking for? How can I find you the best deals? How can I be the best wholesaler that you've ever dealt with and sell them everything? Let them tell you what they want to buy and the prices that they want to buy at, and then go out and find them. Okay? You got this, Teresa. Congratulations. Jacobo. Best way to find cash buyers. I love this. For a really detailed plan on this, wholesalinginc.com, we have what's called the Cash Buyer Pack. Cash Buyer Pack. Make sure you get it. It's in the Academy. If you don't already have it, go get it right now. It's phenomenal. It's going to show you how to get the 100 best buyers in your marketplace. But a couple different things. Number one is you need to find, you could go right to Zillow right now. You can go to Redfin and look for all of the flipped properties. You know they're flipped because they're staged, or they're vacant and they look fantastic and they're updated. And I want you to reach out to the listing agent. Don't go to the preferred agent that they have there. You got to look down on Zillow and Redfin and find the listing agent. Reach out to them and tell them, give them, so your listing looks amazing. This flip looks amazing. I want to send you some more deals. I have the best deals in town. How can I send you these deals? What are you looking for? Okay, that's how you find those cash buyers. And if you've got a specific deal right now in a specific area or zip code or township or county or whatever it is, you go into that Redfin and Zillow, you find those listing agents and you call them up right now. Okay. The other thing is I want you to go into LinkedIn. Set an account with LinkedIn. Look for real estate investor, real estate developer, real estate private money lender, all of these things in there. And you're going to find some of the best buyers ever. One buyer that I found in there led me to Jamil Damji, his partner, Josiah Grimes, and I've sold them hundreds of deals. So, but to really dig deep and to sink your teeth into it, check out that Cash Buyer Pack.
They Batch has a filter in there that has just cash, literally says cash buyer. So if you go in there to Batch Leads, if you have Batch Leads account, type in the zip code that you're looking at, where you're doing. If you have a specific deal, you can type in that zip code, and then you're gonna have a couple hundred just buyers pop up from people who bought. I think they take it back to 6 months or a year or something. Cash deals. Yeah. So I mean, we use that all the time. We do a 5-mile radius search.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Abraham, what do you do with the leads that don't answer your call? Well, we text And if we can't get them on call or text, then you can mail, you can door knock. Pretty much it. I mean,
Can we try on another number?
yeah, I mean, it's if they're just not answering, which a lot of people won't, try to get them on text. But if you're just starting out, don't get focused on like the 10 properties that you're going after. Build a bigger list and just go through all of them and all of them and all of them, just picking up the phone and calling them. And then you can start doing different strategies. But I don't want you to go with too many different strategies because you get distracted and nothing happens. Chris, if the foreclosure prospect says they are not selling, is it okay to bring up you found it on the pre-foreclosure list? Absolutely, Chris. Yeah. Good to see you, bud. Chris, yeah, if you're like, well, listen, the reason I called is your property actually came up on my computer as a pre-foreclosure, and I just wanted to, one, let you know that, and two, let you know that I specialize in helping people stop the foreclosures. Can I tell you a little bit about it? So that's the approach that you want to have there. Top home buyers. Hey, Brent, I have about 200 leads in the CRM. I fell off from lead follow-up for 3 to 4 months. I'm in the process of calling through. Do you think there's some deals in there? What do you think, Graf?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think, Graf?
1,000%. I guarantee you're going to find $50,000 at least in those 200 leads.
50,000
at least.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. Right now, we're getting a lot of calls from people who presented offers to 3-4 months ago, right? They were not interested. Things change. Times change. Emotions change. Pain changes, right? So now they're like, can we go back to that offer? But I mean, we have to come back and readjust it. So now they're a lot more open to having conversations about the price points, negotiating on how far we can push it. And they're, when we kept talking about the memo hasn't landed with sellers yet.
Yeah.
Like they got the memo now.
It's landed.
Yeah. Yeah.
It has landed with a thud.
Yeah.
Boom.
Damn.
Yep. If you're just joining, that's 97 magnetiles there stacked up. And here's 3. That's 3%. This is just to, kind of give you a little bit of perspective on 3% of Americans make over $250,000 a year. This is who you want to hang out with. This is who you want to be. This is how much value you want to provide to the marketplace. We started out with an Earl Nightingale quote, which I love him. He's got the best voice. He's got the best stuff. Anyway, everybody just copies him. Anyway, he is, he talked about it. You can only earn equal to the amount of value you provide to the marketplace. So what's the value we provide to the marketplace? Well, we solve problems. How do we solve problems? With our voice. That's it. With our phone. The phone is the remote control of our society. It's your portal to whatever you want financially. So be brave. Get on it. Oh, I don't like to get on the phone. I don't even like when people call me. I like when people text me. Grow up. Grow up. People that make over $250,000 a year are on their phone all day long when they're starting out. Until you build your business and you can afford to be idle, you got to be on your phone. You got to talk to people. It's the absolute fact.
And you have to be very, very consistent. Can I share a really, really sad story here really quick? So we don't stop marketing in December, holidays. We still, go through the marketing process. We got a lead in. It was sent in. It was pre-qualified. It came in between Christmas and New Year's, right? That's when it came in. I was off doing my family thing. My acquisitions guy was off doing the family thing. And we didn't jump on that lead. So it took me 3 days to get to that lead. And I saw it as like, I'm going to call it. And I called that lead. ARV of the property is 480. There's properties around it in the 520 range. The price point was $230,000.
Mm-hmm.
I missed it. They went under contract the day before, one day prior, because it took me 3 days to get to that lead. So once you're working on deals, once you're working on leads and making those calls, stay on top
Yes.
of those. The follow-up is crazy.
Yep.
But yeah, it made me want to cry.
Yeah.
I mean, we're closing deals this week, which is good, but still, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like, all right, cool. It's a kick in the butt. And a quick reminder that we have to, you know, that consistency, that tenacity, it's really what doesn't matter what stage of the business you're in, what stage of wholesaling you're in. If you're starting, you have a business, it's been going on for years, that tenacity still has to be there. And that's what we begin with, right?
We try 100%.
Yeah.
And I think I think we kind of sabotage ourselves because we're like, oh, I can't make calls because I'm doing this or that right now.
Yeah.
We tracked the average lead follow-up call for the deals that we closed. It was like 3.5 minutes.
Yeah.
3.5 minutes each call.
Fire.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not like you're on the phone with them for hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now some people are expressives and that's different.
Yeah.
But 3.5 minutes. Incredible.
Simple call.
Yeah.
3.5 minutes would have gotten a $250,000 because I would have flipped that property.
What would you have made?
Huh?
What would you have made?
Well, 230, ARV 490. I mean, do the math. I'm telling you, it's
ARV was 490.
490. Yeah. And
now you're hurting my heart.
It's outdated. It's
You
not.
are telling me something sad.
or you know whatnot. So I'm still on it. I'm hoping that for the grace of God, something like, they're not able to perform on it and they can come in and save the day. But yeah, I mean, I want to kick myself I kicked myself in the butt for a couple hours after that call.
Ja'Cory, great question. Hey, Brent, I am doing agent outreach. How do I negotiate earnest money deposit with the agent? Here's the deal. When you are negotiating with agents, there are certain things that are much different, factors that are much different than negotiating with just a property owner that hasn't sold a lot of properties. Agents that have sold some properties. Now, a lot of agents don't sell a lot of properties, but some do. And they are trained to ask for 1% earnest money deposit. And to beat out other offers, oftentimes we have to increase the earnest deposit and make it non-refundable to push that deal over the edge. Okay? And so don't let earnest money deposit be the thing that stops you. If you need to find the funds, find the funds. Find it from friends, family, go into investor groups, go into everything. If you lock up a deal and they're like, I want $10,000 non-refundable deposited with the title company tomorrow, but it is a smoking hot deal. You know that this is going to net you $20,000, $30,000. You know that you've got buyers lined up. You've got all these things going. You'll find the money. You'll find the money. You'll find it. You could go to a Facebook group right now, reach out to the person that created that Facebook group and say, hey, listen, can you bring in the earnest deposit? Can you review this deal? I think it's a smoking hot deal. I want to split it with you 50-50. Right? I want to split it with you 50-50. You go to the admin, the person that created those real estate investing groups in Facebook, maybe even Discord if you're into that. That's what the younger generation's into is Discord. You get into that.
That's how you can tell we're old.
Yeah.
The younger kids are doing it.
I couldn't even.
Be real.
Be real?
Is it?
Yeah, it's be real.
I'm
Got
telling you.
Whatever it is, whatever you want to connect with, you can find somebody that's going to support that and then split the deal with them until you have enough money in your account to where you're like, the earnest money doesn't matter. But never let that be the thing that stops you from getting a deal. Don't let that happen. Because the difference between being real aggressive, when you go and you say, listen, I'll give you what earnest deposit, like let's say you're negotiating with somebody else and they go, yeah, you're at 255. Yeah, we're at 255. Yeah, I'll give you $3,000 earnest deposit. Great. I'll give you 10 grand non-refundable and I'll release it to the seller within 72 hours. Who gets that deal?
Fire.
Who gets that deal? I get that deal. Right? Because what it says is I'm going to close this deal. I am serious. I am going to push this person that's just getting started, that's just kind of, figuring things out. Boom. I get to go through and blow past it. I get a rhino charge through into this deal because I know that I can put that 10th. I know that this is a smoking hot deal. So if it's smoking hot deal, then do what you need to do and find somebody and just have them double check your numbers. Hey, Brett. Quick question. What happens with your earnest deposit once your cash buyer puts down his? They either release it back to you or you get it back when you close. So they'll give you like 2 checks. Here's your earnest deposit and here's your assignment fee.
It's got to be in the contract, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it depends on what's in your assignment agreement.
Yeah, it's got to be in.
So if it's in your assignment agreement that it gets released back to you immediately, that's what they'll do. If not, it'll be at the closing. You know what time it is?
Woo!
Top of the hour.
Which house?
We haven't settled on this. Matt, my producer, his lovely wife Melissa, we've been trying to play around with this. We're gonna call this. We're gonna start this week with marry or date. Marry or date this property. All right, put it in the polls. Is it going to be number 1? Marry or date number 1?
I like that.
Oh, it's over here. Ooh, look at this. By the way, this is on water. It is a beautiful house. Look at that. Incredible. Okay. There's number 1. Number 2. Oh, a modern farmhouse. Look at you, you beaut. Is it number 1 or is it number 2? Number 1, look at you. Number 2, fantastic. Do you want space and room and land, or do you want to be on a lake? Number 1, number 2. Historically, people go for wanting to be on the water. I hear there's lots of insects on the water, so that is a consideration.
Alligators.
There's not alligator. I believe that's in New Jersey.
Oh, well.
So if there's alligators in New Jersey, that is frightening. Yeah. But anyway, number 1 or number 2, put it in there. We have a lot of fun with that. Just interested in what you guys think. And it's just fun. Anyway, look at this. 97%, 3% of Americans make over $250,000 a year. This is you. This is you this year. This is you. Right here. The 3%. Casey, best way to overcome analysis paralysis. I love this. Number 1 way, accountability. Number 1 way is accountability. You have to find somebody to squat up with that is taking action, that is doing stuff, that is being out there, that is going out there and providing value to the marketplace. Okay? The second thing is this. I believe in you, Casey. I do. I believe that you can go out there and you can, without a doubt, build an incredible real estate investing business. So sometimes that's all people need is somebody to believe that they can do it. You have to believe that you do it. I mean, I'm here for you. Raf's here for you. Hondra's here for you. Daniel's here for you. Matt's here for you. Melissa's here for you. Mac, the dog, is here for you. Everybody's here for you. We believe that you can do it. We've seen it time and time again. We've personally coached thousands of people to not only get their first deals, but to build up to 100,000, 250, and then 7 figures in their real estate business. Why not you? You're here, which means you have a different brain. You're thinking differently. You're excited about real estate. You want to do real estate. So to get over paralysis of analysis, 1, you got to believe that you can do this, that you can go out there and provide value because you are powerful. You have a 1 in 400 trillion chance of being alive right now. 1 in 400 trillion. You're a miracle, an absolute miracle. We believe that you can do it. Just find somebody that's going to be there and keep you accountable. Because if you feel like you can't keep yourself accountable, then find somebody that's doing it. And just say, hey, listen, I will do everything I can to find deals, and I'll split deals with you, and we'll work together, and we'll squat up, and we'll do this together. But I just need a little push. I just need somebody just to hold my hand a little bit, just until I get started. Why not? Everybody should have that. Everybody should have somebody that helps guide them. So be brave. Find somebody. Find somebody right now. Tell everybody where you live. Get somebody's contact information. Get their phone number. Go to a coffee shop, pull up Zillow, and make a call. That's it. And you really want to take it to the next level? You really want to be in a community of the most proactive real estate investors in the country of all time, forever? ttpcall.com. I invite you. I want you. ttpcall.com. Talk to us. See if it's the right fit. See if it's the right time for you. David, what do you look at to compare dialers? Currently trying batch and smart dialer. I flipped my first 5 houses last year and ready to put money back into the business. David, you animal. David, you're incredible. 5 houses, incredible. I'd love to know how much you made on that. I like Mojo Dialer. It's intuitive. It's easy. You plug it in and you're done. What do you use? Call tools?
Ready mode, yeah.
Yeah.
No, Zen Call. It used to be Zen
Ready
Call, now it's
mode?
Ready Mode.
Ready mode,
Yeah.
Mojo, whatever it is. I like those two. It's real easy. I mean, I like Mojo. I've never used Ready Mode, but you could try either one of those. What do you like about Ready Mode over the other ones?
It's all in there. We can get numbers and all that stuff, and deliverability is pretty high. So I don't know what's going on there, but
was that really a rhino that just ran by, or am I losing my mind?
oh,
What is he talking about?
The rhino.
I don't know what you're talking about.
missed the screen.
Matt,
yeah,
you're missing your cue, bud. I don't know what he's doing back there.
So yeah, but I like that about it. The deliverability is pretty good. Functionality as well. The user interface is it looks a little old and whatnot. It's not as sexy, but I mean it works well.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Do we have a tally? A number 1 or number 2?
Not yet. Let's give it a couple moments.
Okay, we're gonna give it a check. It's even right now. Let's put it up one more time, Matt. Marry or date? Which one? Number 1. Beautiful. Number 2. Gorgeous. Boom. Let us know. Awesome. Audience participation just makes us feel awesome. And thank you guys. First show back of the year. Thank you so much for participating and being on here. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe. If you are not following Rafael Cortez on Instagram, make sure that you do. CEO Pulse, YouTube?
Rafael Cortez, CEO.
On YouTube?
Yeah, same thing.
Absolutely. CEO Pulse on YouTube. Check it out. Subscribe to both channels, and let's make this year absolutely bananas. All right, RC. Hey, Brent, if you can't get all 4 pillars, which one or two is the most important for a lead? I love this question, RC. I'm gonna number 1 is timeline. When do they want their money? Have they made the decision that they are going to sign the documentation to transfer title to somebody else? That's number 1. It's number 1. So that's what I would that's number 1. Number 2 obviously is understanding what the motivation is, right? Because what is their problem? Is there a problem that you can solve? Okay, so timeline and motivation, they're kind of the meat in that sandwich. It's condition and the price or the bread, and in between, in the middle, is the timeline and the motivation. If you understand that they have a problem and you can solve it, you've got a real lead. But if their motivation is, I just want to buy a bigger house, I just want to upgrade, I just want to do this, and they have a beautiful house and they should list it on the market. 143 million residential properties, 6 to 10% are in distress at all times. That means that 90 to 94% of the people that are out there will never, ever, 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 ever consider doing business with us. But it leads a whole bunch more that will. That's up to 14 million properties. If you do 50 deals a year, your life's changed forever. If you do 25 deals a year, woo, that's building some momentum. That's what we're talking about. But you get to 50, you get to 100. We're talking, divide that into 14 million. Is there enough opportunities for every single investor? Absolutely.
1,000%.
Absolutely.
And that's residential. I mean, factor in land, factor in commercial, factor in multifamily, factor in everything else. I mean, there's so much opportunity out there. Listen, I mean, people can get freaked out by what they hear on the news and that sort of thing. But if you're in it, if you're working and staying consistent on the marketing, on the calls, you are going to be in such a great spot here in the next few months.
Yep.
We know it's coming.
Yep.
Like I'm not slowing down. If you don't get the deals, we will. So
That's it. It's plenty for everybody.
yeah.
Yep.
One more question before we do results.
Aaron Lewis, I have my first property under contract. Should I
Boom.
wait for title to come back clear before I market to cash buyers? First of all, come on, player. Here we go. What is that? What is that? A rhino? What do you think, Raph? Should he wait?
No.
Why not?
Nope. You have a limited amount of time to sell that deal, and you're going to need time to close it too on the buyer side. So don't wait until everything's. I mean, the buyers already know, they have expectations of what comes with a property. So if you need to extend the close of escrow or something like that, there's always stuff that you can do to come back and amend it. But no, start marketing, start finding out who your sellers are or your buyers are going to be for that. So I wouldn't stop. I wouldn't wait.
Nope. Yep.
Yeah.
Brent's office is basically Jumanji. That's right. I love that they rebooted that so people actually know what's going on. But
yeah.
Watch the Robin Williams one. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so I was going to do results, but it's, again, 50-50.
What?
So more people need to vote.
All right. One more time, guys. We need a tiebreaker here. It could be you. Here it is. Is it number 1, marry or date? Ooh, beautiful. Number 2, fabulous. Number 1 or number 2? Let us know. We're gonna, the problem is they're kind of similar, right? Yeah. People are like, I gotta go like mountain and like beach or like, you know what I mean? We'll see. All right.
Go craftsman and then like eclectic,
right?
Yeah. Like that.
All right.
Yeah.
Here we go again. 97 right here. 3. 97% of people in the United States make less than $250,000, but not you this year. Here is you. Here you are, looking good. 3%. Get in the 3%. Watch what happens.
Boom.
Abraham, do you send a text right after you leave a voicemail, or do you go back after you're done with your list? We text and call at the same time. We don't leave voicemails at this point, unless it's very specific properties. We will leave voicemails. So here's a tip that we talked about a few shows ago, is the first time you get a new caller ID number, to season that number. What the carriers are looking for is, are you hanging up really, really fast with a number that you're calling from? Right. And if that is, they start marking it as spam likely. We've all gotten those calls, right? So what you do is you season that phone number. You leave some voicemails so that it builds up the that number, and then you're able to not come up as spam likely as often. So if you're going to leave some voicemails, that's fine. Just do it for like the first hour of a new number, and then you can just go through it. I don't typically, we don't get tremendous amounts of results from voicemails, except for, listen to this, Raph. Sold a deal on Monday that was a voicemail message from a text. We texted them. They called us back, left a voicemail. In callrail.com is what we use for the numbers. When it comes back, we get voicemails. It transcribes it for 10 cents a voicemail. I do want to sell my house. That's like the best transcription ever. And we got a deal. It was a creative finance deal, and locked it up. Fantastic property. It's probably worth $300. We locked it up for $240 with 10% down, 5% interest for 40-year mortgage.
How many down, or how much down?
10%.
10% down.
But sold it.
Wow.
Didn't want to keep it in my portfolio. But somebody else did. Somebody else owns a bunch of properties in that area. They love that area, and that's great. But I will only own properties in good school districts.
The what's working real well for us, and I know we sold a few deals over the last, I think maybe month and a half, on through Sly Broadcast.
Get out of
voicemail
here.
drops, yeah. So we're still doing voicemail drops on the buyer side. That's to our buyers list.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Talk to me about that. What is that? What do you do?
It's live broadcast. It's when you were able to drop voicemails and it didn't ring, it just went straight to voicemail, type of stuff. So we did it for sellers, and then people started getting butthurt, so we stopped doing it.
Sure.
We still do it as a strategy, but now it's on the dispo side.
Yep.
So we'll reach out to our buyers. We'll call them. So we have a list of buyers that we call, like manually call them. That same list will send out live broadcast messages to, hey, listen, we have this property off of Main Street and 3rd.
Yeah.
It's a 3-bed, 2-bath. Let me know if you want more info on it. Something super personal, and it's a custom, message per property. Drop it in there. Click the button. Goes out to, I think we have close to 300 people on that
area.
Yeah. On that voicemail list.
Yeah.
And then we get calls back. So the cool thing about
that's
it is
really cool because if it's an iPhone, I don't know if Androids do this, but on iPhones, when you get a voicemail, you just kind of push on it and it transcribes it.
Yeah. So you have that, and then the cool thing is that you can choose the caller ID that pops up on their side. So for caller ID, we use my dispo guy's number.
Yep.
So they call back the dispo guy, and then conversation goes forward. So it's a really, really cool strategy.
Have you told Jeremy about this?
I told him a while back. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I think so. If not, maybe I should tell him again. Hey, Jeremy,
shout out Jeremy,
Yeah, maybe
disposition manager extraordinaire. Awesome.
So, yeah, but that's gold.
Marcus, what's the dialogue when connecting with agents referring to daily tasks? I love this. So, a couple different things. Okay, you can call agents that have listings for really ugly properties. Right? Just fine. Just go in, filter for the cheapest properties in the area. Keep it above, 30,000 if you're going after a lower priced area. Just to build enough spread in there for you. The agents that list things for like 2,000 or 3,000 or 5,000, there's probably not a tremendous market for it. But go into a market where there could be potential equity once those properties get fixed. They're worth 100, 150,000, 200,000, right? And the conversation that you want to have with them. And by the way, we have a lot of videos of me calling agents on this channel, so definitely check those out. 1, is it still available? 2, how many offers have you had? Right? Or are you negotiating any current offers? 3, have they been getting a bunch of offers that they're rejecting? Right? 4, would they, if they don't sell this property, what's their plans with it? And 5, if they are dead set on their price, are they open to taking payments? Right. So you're just trying to get an idea of what's going on here. Are they ready to actually sell this property? Are they ready to, take a price that will cause it to sell? And if not, if they're just like, they're just testing the market. They own it free and clear. They bought it for 30,000. They're trying to get, 200,000 for this property now or whatever else, and they'll never get it. Then you go, okay, great. Do you have any other properties that needs significant renovation? I'm looking to buy properties that are really beat up. Do you have anything that you can send me? That's a conversation literally I had yesterday. We filmed it all. You'll see it soon here, Marcus. Daniel, when will that be out?
He's right in front of you.
Oh, Daniel, when will that be out? The one that you filmed yesterday morning that you completely forgot the conversation that we had right in front of you while we were having it for the lead that you gave me? Social. Okay, yeah. Oh, we need to know the results. Yeah. All right. So give us a couple days, Marcus, and I'll let you know. Or we'll put that out. Yeah. Awesome.
All right. Which house or marry date?
Number 1, marry or date. Or number 2. I'm going to go number 2. I think number 2 won it.
I like number 2.
I'd marry the first one.
Oh!
Bam!
Oh, Raph always wins.
I just feel like number 1, your basement would get flooded.
Yeah,
You're
might.
Thinking too much.
Yeah, you're thinking way too much. It's all right. I was worried about insects.
I was worried about alligators. Remember that?
Alligators in Jersey. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Courtney, hey Brent, I have a deal I'm working on. How can I calculate payments for the contract for a deed sale agreement for for deed agreement for sale. Okay, got it.
Self-financing.
Yeah, it just depends on the condition of the property. Well, first of all, I mean, if you're going payments, I always like to make sure that you're at 60% of the current market value for rent. Okay, this is going to build in. This is what I learned from a good friend of ours, Jared Vidalis, who is one of the best real estate investors that we know, and he does incredible business here in Phoenix. And he does not look at anything unless it's 60% because it builds in vacancy rate, builds in management fees, and it builds in enough buffer for any kind of repairs or renovations or whatever happens, wear and tear in the property. So typically you want to be about 60% of the current market rents would be your best bet. Or lower. Courtney, go gangster. Offer him $1 a month for the next 100 years.
And then for rents, go to rentometer.com, look it up, and it's going to give you the average rents for that area. If you type in,
do you have to buy into that, or is it free?
No, I mean, you
There's
can
like an
pay
advanced
for
one
it.
or
Yeah,
something?
it'll give you, but the info that we need is just, I mean, that's free. So.
Hey, Brent, I'm dealing with a lead where both homeowners are in nursing homes. Yep. The wife's sister is throwing a wrench in the deal. How much time should I spend on this before I am wasting my time? Great conversation. I'd have to find out more about what the sister is saying. You know, why are they throwing a wrench into the deal? What maybe they're kind of their what is that? The attorney power of attorney, right? And maybe they help to make the decision. They're just trying to protect their family. I'm certain. So I would find out and just say, hey, well, what do you think makes sense? And if they're saying, well, I don't want them to sell the property, we can do something else with it, or we can list it with an agent or whatever else. Great. I would love for you to go down that path, right? You don't want to ever you don't want to cause friction by disagreeing with them. I think that's an amazing option. If you guys talk to a real estate agent about putting it on the market and seeing what you can get there. That's probably what she's thinking if they are deciding to sell, or maybe they just need time. Maybe they need time to clear it out because the people have a whole life of personal property in this property. Maybe there's a lot of memories. Maybe it's they inherited the property from their grandma, from, that's owned it for 100 years or whatever else. You never know. So I would dig into the story a little bit more, and I would just have the conversation and say, listen, I'm probably not your buyer for this, it sounds like, but just tell me what's the plans with your property. Are you interested in considering an offer, or are they going to actually sell the property? Because I've got some great resources if you need it. Otherwise, I'm just curious on what you're going to do with the property.
Think about solving two problems, right? It's same thing as with whenever you have a tenant in place and the tenant doesn't want to move out. You're solving the seller's problem. In this case, the people who are in the nursing home, and then you're solving the sister's problem. So there might be a different story, but you have to approach it that way. Okay, yep. So.
Roberto, my cold callers asked me how many calls per contracts does it take to typically get a deal. Look at this. You want to know? I'm going to tell you. Pull it up, Matt. The VA one. Yep. There you go.
Take a screenshot.
Take a screenshot. It's typically 1,000 contacts. And so if you have a 10% contact rate, you got to call 10,000 people or 10,000 numbers. And so 1,000 contacts versus 200 contacts if you make the calls yourself. I only hand dial right now. How many records do you recommend I dial per day? Justin, great question. As many as possible. It's interesting. I always felt like I hit a wall hand dialing at like 50. It was just like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of calls. Now, Chad, my acquisition manager, is just gangster. He'll just go, 70, 75, 80. He's absolutely incredible. But typically it's about 50 is kind of when you start, it starts getting to where you're just either exhausted, or you are just which kind of lends to you're not on the top of your game with those conversations.
Yeah.
Raph, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Same thing when I was going on face-to-face appointments. At the end of the
God.
day, is like you're beat, you're tired, you're like, yeah. So find. I mean, you're gonna find a cadence, you're gonna find a number at the beginning, and you've talked about this a lot before. It's like building a muscle, right? If you're getting started, maybe 10 calls is gonna wear you out. But as you build the reps, put the reps in, just like going to the gym, you're gonna do 10, 15 calls, 20 calls, and then it just becomes an easier and easier thing to do.
Yeah.
So
Build your endurance.
shoot for 50.
When cold calling a list, how many times do you recycle or recall that list, and how often? Twice.
Yep.
First time through the list, you're going to talk to the most people. Second time through, it'll be about 20% less. And third time through, it falls way off, like 80%. Nothing is more frustrating than you gearing up mentally, physically, emotionally. You're standing up. You got the lights on. You got the windows open. You've got a lot of enthusiasm. You press go, and you don't talk to anybody the whole hour because you're going through an old beat up list. So 2 times, move on. Unless it's like a driving for dollars list, and then you can recycle that every 90 days to 6 months. Agreed?
Agreed. I got to tell you, Brent, I'm impressed. I'm very, very impressed right now.
Why is that?
I have no idea how that whole stack of squares survived the entire 90-minute stretch. I would have knocked it out within the first 3 minutes.
Listen,
on accident.
Listen, it's called being a man. All right,
it's science.
Having some control. No, this is because they're magnets. Yeah, yeah. So, listen, 97 here, 3 here. 3% of people make over $250,000 a year. You can't even see the bottom of the stack, right? I mean, you can't even see the bottom of the stack. Be the 3%. Be the 3%. Push, push, push. Let's put it up one more time, and then we're going to close out the show. Fantastic show. Guys, if you are not subscribed, make sure that you subscribe. If you are not in the academy at wholesalinginc.com, you're missing out on hundreds of thousands of dollars of value, complimentary downloads, incredible resources and tools. Get in there absolutely right now and get involved in the community. Go to Wholesaling Inc. in the Facebook page and check out the podcast, Wholesaling Inc. We've got you surrounded. There's no excuse. There's no, I'm not really sure what to do next. You know what to do. Let's put it up one more time, Matt, the daily schedule. Boom. 5 driving for dollars contacts per day. 20 realtor, probate, tired landlord, and multifamily contacts per day. Not each combined. Don't get overwhelmed there. 50 driving for dollars addresses per day. Do it virtually. You don't have to do it in your car unless you are in your car all the time. 3 cash buyer contacts. Make sure you understand what cash buyers are looking for and how you can find that for them. Call all the follow-up leads that you have. Don't just sit on your leads like you're going to warm them up like an egg. They will not hatch. You need to call them. You need to be super, super, super aggressive with your follow-up. I don't mean aggressive with your tone. I mean aggressive with the amount of times that you reach out, and read 30 minutes a day. It refreshes your brain, makes you smarter, and you get to walk in the shoes of incredible people that have done incredible things and overcome incredible odds and yet still became successful. So bring it on in. Thank you guys for joining us for the first show of the year. On behalf of Rafael and Alejandra and Daniel and Matt, here we go. We love you guys. Remember, keep your house clean. Literally your house and this house, right? Keep your house clean, right? Protect your health and increase your value to the world. You'll live an incredible life. See you next week. Love you.